Hello, I am Clarissa Ortega, and my disability is autism spectrum disorder, known as ASD. What is ASD? Autism spectrum disorder is a neurodevelopment disorder that impacts a person's ability to interact and communicate with others. This causes many challenges for people as to they as to they would be having a difficult time to communicate or focus. So what this basically means is with ASD, it's just harder for many people to stay on task, to stay focused, and to be able to communicate with others. It's just very difficult for them. And then some key indicators of ASD. So, some of the signs of ASD usually start at an early childhood age. So, most people are diagnosed when they're little. And then autism looks different on everyone. Not everyone reacts, or not everyone has the same symptoms as everyone else. And it causes difficulties communicating with others and challenging to obtain eye contact. So going back to the previous slide, it's just very hard for them to stay on task and to focus, especially when interacting and communicating with others. And then their behavior tends to be repetitive. So what this means is, um, like being said again, like not being able to stay on task and not being able to stay focused would be a common thing. It's not just something that comes out of nowhere. It just keeps repeating, and that's probably one of the most biggest problems that they have. And of course, this causes issues with sensory sensitivities, which causes comfort. So some of them may be sensitive to the light. Maybe some of them may be sensitive to noise, to talking. It's just a lot for them, unfortunately. And I got that from the CDC. So yeah. So some areas of concern. So this can be challenging when having different routines. So if they are comfortable and they're used to a certain way of doing things, and you randomly switch it up and randomly change it, it can be very difficult for them to understand that new routine since they were so used to the old one. This is going to be said so many times. They just have difficult working with one another, and then this can become stressful for them and cause them to get overstimulated. So going back to not being able to be on task, sometimes they aren't able to fully understand what's going on, and they could start getting stressed and start feeling overstimulated, which then causes more behavior problems to occur. So it's better to have them relax, and it's better to know what they need rather than making it hard for them. So some strategies for the family. So at home, giving them a daily routine that they follow each and every day can help them get the hang of a lot of stuff, and it could help them this could probably be like the cherry on top for them, just because when being able to do something over and over again that they're used to, it's like acing something, if that makes sense. And then using different methods like visuals and examples to make a schedule for them to follow, going like the same thing of like having a routine now. And then being able to practice at home, which allows them to become better and successful each and every day. So having the family very much involved in like their lives could come a long way, just because they're comfortable with their family enough to be able to take on different challenges. And then also families working with the school to make a proper lesson plan and overall goal for them to be able to succeed and meet their goals. So just working with the school and working with families helps each other lead their student up to success. So some strategies for educators would be by becoming clear and specific. So by this is having specific and clear and easy to understand directions, instructions, so that they are able to follow as well. And same thing, having a routine down at school is very important. Um, Also, it goes hand in hand with the previous slide, working with families to set up goals for them, like mentioned before, but being able to use visuals and making it clear for them to understand. So sometimes they could be a visual person and not like a listening person. So having pictures to demonstrate an example or just demonstrating in general can help them a lot. And then also offering breaks to students to reduce overstimulation. So just a little brain break. It could be like a 3-minute stand up, sit down type, nothing big. And then some resources for the families would be Autism Speaks, about autism spectrum disorder and autism spectrum disorder. I chose these three because they really go very well into describing and going in depth and detail on what exactly is autism and like what is there to do to benefit the student, to benefit the child, and what they are able to use in case they're having trouble with calming down their child, etc. And then for educators, I did put the same one down as for the family just because sometimes educators need that extra help as well. And then Iris Center modules and Council for Exceptional Children just allow us to see what to do when dealing what to do with when having to deal with a student that has ASD. And then these are my resources I have used throughout this whole slide.